Always ready. Always ready. And yeah, we should be live. We should be live. Finally.
Good evening, people. People of
Hello.
the
I mean,
YouTube world.
it's
Hi,
it's
hi,
evening
Barrett.
for us. Hopefully, for some of you, will still be a nice Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a bit
Awesome.
of feedback, by the way.
Yeah.
It's gone now. It's gone.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Let us know if you can see us, hear us. Should be able to hear us and see us fine. See our pretty handsome, two young men.
Young men.
Yeah, two young men talking
Two
about Pokemon.
Pokemon in numbers.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. So yeah. What?
How
So
you?
what are we gonna talk about today? P reprint. Then
Yeah, we can talk
what
about
else?
how they evolved. Yeah, reprint. We could talk a little bit about your most recent video
The one about
predicting.
yesterday's video.
Yeah, yesterday's video. Yeah, that was quite interesting.
I mean, it was not gonna lie, it was niche content. I got a pretty interesting comment on it. But yeah, those things happen. But yeah, long story short was if you try to predict the future looking at the past and you use a simple mean, which is previous returns, right?
Yep.
Uh, what you do is, on average, that's a pretty good estimator of what could happen in the future. The problem is that the error you make by using that estimator to estimate future returns, the error you make, the probability of that error being large goes to zero as the sample size increases. So if you don't have a pretty large number of data, you're making a large error,
Mm,
which obviously intuitively makes sense, right?
yeah.
But yeah, long story short, that was about the video.
Barrett, I appreciate the content you put out because it's super informative. I just don't know if the right people are gonna receive it.
It, it, I
I don't
mean,
know how
I
many
don't want
people have the capacity to really take it on board. I think a lot of people I've noticed in this space, they just want to be told what to buy. You know,
to,
buy this,
unfortunately.
yeah, and if you buy this, you're gonna make money, and that's it.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah. I mean, as I said, I know it's niche content. I know it's not easy to understand to follow, which is why it doesn't get many views. But that's fine with me. At least I enjoy doing it, and I think it could genuinely help people, even if they don't apply to Pokemon. Still, it's something new they can learn. Not that I'm a teacher, as I always say. I don't preach to be one, and I'm not one.
Mm.
But my thinking is I can maybe help someone say, look, these things exist, and they can do whatever they want with it. So
No, I think
that's why.
everybody can teach what they know, and everybody can learn from somebody that has more experience in something or has a bit more of a knowledge, a foundational, grounded knowledge in these things. It's actually interesting because talking about trying to predict stuff. I don't know if you watch Pokemon Classics, Matt.
I think I've watched them before.
I'll send you a video he did quite recently about. Not he doesn't go into a lot of the stuff that you were talking about, but he did make a video about um, predicting price and investing in general. It was a good video. I enjoyed that. That was pretty good. And I think that the crux of the video was, unfortunately, a lot of people are happy to consume comforting lies instead of accepting the uncomfortable truth when it comes to Pokemon investing, right? And life in general, but I think when it comes to Pokemon investing, that's definitely the case. I mean, I've made videos on certain people's views on how to predict the future, and I got a lot of hate for it. But I mean, that kind of points in that direction that people will just accept whatever they're told, and as long as it sounds great, and you've got the big flashy studio with the neon lights in the background, then your word becomes gospel to them. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's talk about our good old Paldear Evolved.
P. Yeah, well, I mean, I mean, I don't know much about it because I haven't really had the time. I was really busy with stochastic process, which, as you can imagine, is super fun to do. Uh,
I'm not jealous at all,
by
Mara.
the name of it. So
I'm super
what's
jealous.
going on? What's going on? Is reprint restock the US only? I think it is, as far as I know.
As far as I know, I think we have. Let me double check. I'm sure we have stock in the UK.
Because what I
Um,
heard is, I mean I saw Nostalgianomics Alex thumbnails
yep.
about the reprint. I think Ryan from Pagini was the first one to talk about it, maybe. And then I
Brian is
watched,
on the ball. Brian is on the ball, man. This guy, he's on the ball with everything, man.
yeah,
He's. I don't think he sleeps. Like
my,
the speed at which he gets stuff out. I reckon he just has um Poke Beach on his phone, and like while he's walking around, he just refreshes because he gets content out. Like I think he did one
but
where he got 3 videos out like back to back on it. Yeah, Paldea is I think it's just a US thing or Canada thing because
yeah,
it's available here freely on the Pokemon Center
yeah,
booster
and
boxes.
as I said to also people in the Discord, if obviously I got European data over time,
Yeah,
and there's as of like today you can go onto Car Market and buy over 1,500 boxes of PE if you want it. So there's plenty of it.
yeah. I'm looking at my distro as well. They've got plenty of PE.
Yeah,
If I
and
want to go and pick
all
up,
Scarlet and Violet right now, we're in the thousands of boxes available. Like right now, you can buy them right now.
yeah, that's interesting. So we can get base set, we can get Paldea Evolved. I can get Obsidian. Obviously, there's going to be a ton of that. I can get Paradox. I can get Temporal. I can get Twilight Masquerade. I can get Stellar Crown.
You know,
I can get,
I'm almost changing my mind on Twilight.
as in you
It,
liking it more.
yeah, it thinking about it, it kind of reminds me of like somewhere in between Silver Tempest and Lost Origin, as in they all share an expensive, sought after. I mean,
Chase.
the two are correlated. Uh, Chase, yeah, but and that's me personally.
Mm,
Tina, Lugia, Greninja. Don't no matter price. Just look at the artwork. Look at the card. Look at the Pokemon. Tina, Lugia, Greninja. That,
mm.
but that's me. But it reminds me of like an expensive chase. Obviously, you could argue the death of any Scarlet Valley set from a collector standpoint is better than most, if Sword and
Sword
Shield
and
sets.
Shield. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if Evo Skies could be the only one that Evo Skies and Chill and Rain, because those are very two deep set. So those
They're
could
very
be,
they're
yeah,
very
they're,
deep sets, both.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Yeah,
but
they're the
yeah,
exception on Sword and Shield. You're right.
I'm not saying that I regret not buying any because that's all right. Fine with me. But yeah, I'm kind of changed my mind. I don't see it being the best set ever to be printed or the best set in Scarlet and Violet. But it's better than I thought.
I think you're right. I would put it on a similar sort of standing as like a Silver Tempest. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not a huge fan. I wasn't a huge fan, and I'm still not a huge fan of the Silver Tempest set. I think it's held up massively because of the Lugia. Um, Comparing it to some of the other sets, even Lost Origin to some degree, um, you've got like one or two really valuable cards, and I know we shouldn't be. I mean, we're investors, right? So we're gonna base a lot of our judgments on value. Of course, artwork aside, we can appreciate artwork as well. But ultimately, what do we care about? We care about the bottom line. What are we going to make? If we're putting money into this product or this box, what can we make back in however long? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
etc. So But from even just from a pure artwork perspective with chases, both Silver Tempest and Lost Origin are kind of, for me, I'm not on that hype. Like, when even with Lost Origin, with the Tino, everyone was going absolutely crazy about it. And I own a few boxes. Don't get me wrong. I've got like multiples of every single Sword and Shield set, multiple boxes on each,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I bought them. But actually, I don't think the sets are especially Lost Origin. Yeah, obviously we've got the others. We've got Battle Styles. We've got obviously Sword and Shield base. I think base Sword
Yeah.
and Shield base isn't bad as well. Um, you've got it's completely out of my head now. I need to pull this up. 1 second, hold on.
Rebel Trash.
Rebel Trash. Yeah, Rebel Clash again has not got much in it, but look at the price of the boxes now. But I would definitely put Silver Tempest and Lost Origin above those two. Well, the rest with regards to like Battle Styles, Shining Fates, Vivid Voltage. You've only got the Pikachu, Champion's Path,
Nah.
Darkness Ablaze,
I
and you
mean,
got this. You know what I mean?
Sword and Shield starts with Shin and Rain.
Yeah, it starts. Yeah, that's when you really start getting into those artworks.
Yeah.
And
Shin and
that's
Rain
when I actually.
onwards is good. Before that, just like I mean, and just it's kind of like what happened with, if I'm not mistaken, with Sun and Moon. Because with Sun and Moon, you got the first half where, you know, the rare cards are rainbow cards, more, the chases.
Yeah,
And then you got the second half where you got actually some alt arts, right?
yeah. Sun and Moon finished
Thinking,
really strong though, man. Sun and Moon finished really strong.
yeah. And as, I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of, second half was on Shield. So from Shield and
Mm,
Rain onwards.
yeah.
And then you got Sky and Violet, which actually started strong. Because, I mean,
There's
if you ask
there
me,
is there is something to say about that, bro. Because are they going to be able to continue in this vein? Because like you're right, with Sun and Moon, we had other than Unbroken Bonds, which had just the only real card of any value was the Charizard in there, right? You have
oh,
Lost Thunder, with Dragon Majesty, Lost Thunder, team up. Then you got, I mean, Detective Pikachu, which is I suppose just a very basic set.
yeah, you
Unbroken
got
Bonds, Unified Minds, Hidden Fates,
yeah,
and then Cosmic Eclipse. Bro, those are banging sets. Every single one of
yeah.
them. Cosmic, Hidden, Unified, Team Up. Unbroken you could also say it's not terrible, but it's not on a
Yeah.
team up sort of
I
level.
was I was actually about to buy a cosmic box a couple of months ago. Uh,
Bro, I'm so done, bro. I was being offered Cosmic, like when I first started looking at booster boxes again, I could have picked them up for about £500. Yeah, I wasn't. At that time, I was like, no, it's too
I
much.
mean, if we knew the future, we'd all be rich, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. We'd all
So
be
that's all right. That's all right.
multi-millionaires. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
let's talk
so
about Paldea. So, bro, my idea, this is like for anybody watching from the States or Canada, look, we're still very, I mean, although we're quite deep into Scarlet and Violet, we're not that deep into it. Like, we're like, what, halfway there or thereabouts.
yeah,
There's always going to be reprints, okay? There's always going to be reprints. There's always the likelihood of there being reprints, especially on the earlier sets, because we haven't had any big reprints on any of the earlier the Scarlet and Violet sets. If so, my only advice to people is this: look, if if there's a reprint, which it looks like it's not, it's probably just a restock. If that does bring the prices down, I would say don't panic sell, because this is the problem with everybody that they come in, they buy high, they sell low, and that's how they all lose all their money, or just end up becoming disenfranchised with the Pokemon hobby and leave. So if prices drop as a result of either a restock or reprint, just buy more. That's like, to me, that just makes sense. Like, why would you sell? That's the time where you need to be keeping those boxes, hoarding those boxes, and picking up more. So you can dollar cost average into a better position if you're able to pick them up for less than what you bought the original boxes for. But I've never got this. I've never understand this concept of, they've come in, they've bought all these boxes. Now that they've reprinted and restocked, they're starting to drop. Everyone panics and sells. I haven't sold a single thing, bro. From Sword and Shield when I started collecting. I've got some XY and I've got some Sun and Moon boxes, as you know, but the majority of it is Sword and Shield. And whenever there were reprints or whenever there was more stock, I didn't even bother. I was like, cool, I'm just gonna buy some more. I'm just gonna buy some more, and I'm still buying it now. I mean, although Fusion Strike, like that box up there, which I bought quite recently, every month I'll just pick up a box or two. Like that's literally what I do. So because I can get it at MSRP, so if I can get it at MSRP and I'm still happy to buy it, then currently while we're still in Scarlet and Violet, any set that they reprint, if you're now getting more of it on the market and there's a higher supply and the price comes down, just buy more. I'm not saying buy 10, cases or even a whole case. Just scale and buy one or two boxes while you can. And at some point, they're not going to continue to print these boxes. They're not going to go perpetually into the future because there will have to be more prints of other sets that come after Paldea. Um, so yeah, I just think the counterintuitive thing is the right thing to do. Buy more.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it also depends on what price you bought them at originally. Because I right now have 3 P boxes, and then I think it's 2 seal displays of sleeved boosters.
Yeah,
I think there's 24 each, so 48 packs, sleeve
yeah,
packs. And the boxes, I bought them for 90 euros each.
it's a good price, man.
It's a pretty good price. And I had 4. I opened one on the channel. Um, but yeah, so I mean, I couldn't care less. I mean, I do care. It's not that I don't care, obviously. Um, but I bought them at a price where it just I don't want I don't want more for multiple reasons. Number one, I can't afford more, as in I'd rather put my money somewhere else.
Yep.
So I have a limited amount now to spend towards Pokemon, and I don't want it to go towards speed. And I rather wait and see if something better comes up, as I do have a position. I'm happy with it. I don't think it's that is that good. That's another thing, right? Because I think you may consider to buy more if you genuinely think the set is, you know, good, really good. And if you look at prices, right, the prices of P, you could say to some degree that it's actually a good set, right? It was the first one to, I mean, get to the highest price, and after without thinking about 151, it was the most expensive one. So you could say, if you look at price as a reflection of demand, people like it. Now, do people like it because PokeTubers like it, or do people like it because they actually like it? It could be a mix. It could be a mix. Um, I mean, it's a good set, great
Do
depth.
you like it, bro? Because I'll tell you my opinion, but just give me your opinion on it.
I like it. I don't love it. I like it. If you ask me, I prefer other sets. Um, do I do I see it as the best set, Scarlet and Violet? No, it's up there, but it's not the best.
Yeah,
I mean,
same here,
151 has shown to be the best.
of course. Same here, but again, like I don't know. I'm a temporal guy, man. I think 151 is up there, and I think 151 is probably going to make the better investment. But I'm definitely a temporal guy. But coming back to Paldea, I really like the set, and I'll tell you why I like the set because I was whatnot streaming when the set came out. So I ripped through loads of cases, loads and loads of cases. It was like the hottest thing on the block, and I ripped a lot of boxes and a lot of packs, and I got to really see a lot of the artworks. Like I pulled the Iono, I pulled all pretty much all of the trainers. I pulled the Magic Carp live on stream. Um,
How's the Magic card like? Seeing it with
it
your
is
own eye.
better. It's yeah, it's 100%. You know, this is what we spoke about last time. It's like sometimes you just need to hold and see the
Yeah, I
card
just need
in
to
your
see
hand.
it.
You literally just need to see it. And the Magic Carp is a very nice card. It's a special card. It definitely is a very lovely card. And holding it really puts it more into perspective because when you look at it in a picture, it's quite dark. Usually it's it's just it's a scanned image or somebody if
Yeah,
if it's not a video, it's literally just a 2D image of what's on the card, right? When you hold it, you've got the texture, you've got the glare and the reflection, you've got the Gyarados in the background. It's
yeah,
very easy to miss the Gyarados. So
which I love.
all these, yeah, it's I think it's a lovely card. I do think it's a brilliant card. Is it the best card? Of course not. It's not the best card in Scarlet and Violet, but I'd say it's definitely like a really really solid good chase card in that set. And because I ripped through so many boxes, and I actually graded the Iono, by the way, the Magic Cup. I remember I pulled it for a lady in Scotland. I still remember them because on Whatnot you don't need a lot of I had like 1,000, more than 1,000 followers on Whatnot and a lot of them would come regularly into the streams. But on Whatnot, you only need about 15, anywhere between 10 to 20 people every single live stream who would consistently be on your live stream that buy for you to make enough money to make it worth your time, because you could be on there for 4, 5, 6 hours. But I remember I pulled the Iono for the Magic Cup for a lady in Scotland, and they used to come on. There were two sisters. They used to come on my stream all the time, and they would just literally buy pack after pack after pack. Like I'd rip open boxes, and then there'd be like 4 pack lots, 5 pack lots, four pack. They'd be competing against each other, and then you get the odd person trying to scalp the box. The Iono I pulled for a guy called Louis. I'm sure he won't mind because I'm connected with Louis on Instagram, and he was a smart guy. So what he would do is he would watch my streams, but he would try to map the box, right? Because he knew there was between 12 to 14 hits a box. So obviously, a majority of those were EX cards, and not the
Yep.
high end, IRs or the illustration rares. And what he would do is he'd map it, and I wasn't even aware of the whole mapping element until he told me. He's like, you know what? I watch your stream, and if you're like halfway through the box and you have only pulled maybe like 1 or 2 hits, I know that the likelihood of me getting an SIR or an IR is even higher. So then he would come in and he'd buy 1 pack here, 1 pack there, until I pulled the Iono for him. And I offered him to have that graded. It went off to PSA with my submission, and he got a 9. I told him, I said, I think it's going to be a 9 because there was a bit of edge damage, edge wear, and the back wasn't the surface of the front was perfect, but on the back, on the blue border, it had 1 or 2 tiny nicks on it. So I said, look, I think it's going to be a 9. He said, just send it off anyway, because I offered it as part of like a just like if anybody pulls an SIR on the stream, I'll have it graded with my next submission if you like. I offered to do the Magic Cup as well for the ladies, but I think they were just so excited. They're just like, no, just send us
Yeah,
the
I
card.
just wanted it.
That was a 10. That was a 10 contender. Brilliant, brilliant card. But yeah, so coming back to the point, I don't want to veer off. I've just gone off on a bit of a tangent there. But I agree with you. I don't think it is the best set in Scarlet and Violet, but I think it's definitely up there as a really solid. I think in years to come, the people are going to look back at a lot of the artworks in that set and think
Yep.
that is a really good solid set, like a solid, like um maybe not like the top, but like something that's definitely like desirable, and people, and the hit
The
rates are good. The hit rates are good on Paldea. Like I remember I opened, like I said, I must have opened at least 8 to 10 cases of Paldea just on stream, because obviously then by the time you offer other stuff, or some people were opening Lost Origin.
yeah,
I was doing a lot of Crown Zenith as well, so I was going through tins. I was literally breaking down product to sell, and the hit rates were generally between 12 to 14. A really good box would have 14
yeah,
hits, but the average was about 11, 12 per box. So that's really good value for considering like what we see now. because the hit rates have really just gone plummeted, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
it's a good set to open it for
it's a good
sure.
set for opening. It's a good set for the artwork. I think it's a good set for the variety of art styles you've got as well. I think that plays into it because it's not like, there's set identities, but then you've also got identity in the artwork as well, where things are kind of follow a theme. So I
Yeah,
think there's a good variety within Paldea Evolved where I think the set will do good. But bro, I come back to your point. You don't. There's definitely going to be better opportunities. I don't think we've seen. It's looking likely that 151 is going to end up being the evolving skies of Scarlet and Violet. But again, we don't know what's coming with the
next.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Team Rocket set. Any, if they're going to do any tag team sets. Um, so for me, I think that if you can afford it and you are able to get the boxes for around $90, maybe even 95, and
but
you have a bit spare, pick up
but
a
I
couple.
don't. I mean, I looked at TCG prices, TCG player prices the other day. The market doesn't seem to be affected by it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It
So
doesn't.
yeah, I think as of right now, I think that we can only dream of Poldia at $95.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them,
I can
but
pick it up here for £95, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's a distro. That's the distro
yeah,
level. There are one or two actually LGSs that I know are selling them for 95 as well. But it's just because when Paldea came out, they bought a shit ton of boxes and they're literally just offloading them.
yeah. Well, we don't know because it appears to be a restock more than a reprint, and it appears to be an American thing. Because as I said, man, there's thousands of boxes of PE in the market right now in the European market, so no need for any reprint restock over here. When we got for the record, when we got the Silver Tempest restock in the EU, the boxes were down to about 150, 200, and then we got restock and we went in the 500 for reference.
Wow.
Well,
Five
right now we're in the 1500 plus for PE.
for a case.
1500 boxes
Oh, yeah, okay, okay,
of
okay. As
PE.
in
Yeah,
terms of volume, what's
yeah.
available. Yeah, okay.
And one thing I think it's worth pointing out is, so I don't know. So nobody knows the print runs. My best guess is looking at how many boxes are in the market, right? So back when, because I don't have the data, but it would be interesting to know back when a Sword and Shield set, when Sword and Shield sets were released, how many boxes, you know, right around the time of release, so within the 6 to 1 year window, I mean 6 months to 1 year window
Hmm.
of release, how many boxes were available, you know, at the market in the market?
Hmm.
Because right now I know we are in the some boxes a bit less than 2,000, some in 1,500. So plenty of boxes. It would be interesting to know for Soul and Shield what the numbers were, because if the numbers at again within a short period of time after release were lower, then obviously we know about all the reprints of Sword and Shield era.
Yeah.
If now they adjusted the initial print run looking at Sword and Shield data, then at that point, if they now print initially as much product as they were to do, they used to do with first wave of Sword and Shield plus reprint, then we don't need a reprint.
Hmm.
You, you, see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying.
Because I
The
mean, right
re-
now, be honest, right now we don't need a reprint in the European market
no, we
with
don't.
all these boxes.
There's plenty of stock, bro. There's plenty of everything.
There's
Um,
10x the amount of Scarlet and Violet than there is of you know Sword and Shield sets, and I'm talking mainly about Fusion, Chillin. Um,
bro, Fusion's still on Pokemon Center. I mean, forget about Card Market. Like Brilliant
yeah,
Stars is on Pokemon Center.
is it still?
Yeah,
in the
Brilliant
UK?
Stars, Fusion Strike. Let's have a look at Astro Radiance. Astro Radiance is still yep, Astro Radiance is still available.
Oh,
Let's just let me do a cheeky evolving
oh,
sky.
so
No,
you're need your help. So I got a question.
go on.
So as you know, what I mean, would I like to collect? Yes. Do I think collecting is dangerous from a evil investor standpoint? Yes, absolutely. So I was thinking about because I always wanted to display cardboard, and I've always liked sealed because it reminds me of when I was gonna say when I was a kid, but could be yesterday. Um,
And a kid,
so when I was a
technically.
younger kid, my younger self, my inner child, and I used to go to these kind of convenience stores. That's where Pokemon cards are sold here, mainly kind of convenience stores ish type of thing. And I would rarely get packs, but they would have behind the counter all the open boxes, right, with all the packs inside. So I remember, I have these memories of me, little me, looking at these stuff, looking at these open boxes, and I've always wanted them in my house. So now I kind of have them; they're just sealed. So I've always wanted to display, and I've always liked sealed because of very reason, because it reminds me of those days. Um, so I was thinking about a small collection of sealed packs, just packs, loose packs. But my problem is, do I go for English or Japanese? And if I go for English, do I go for an R set of every set, or do I just go with the R set of each set that I like the most? I mean, not the R set, the artwork of each set that I like the most for the pack.
Japanese tends to have the same pack artwork, doesn't it, for main
No,
expansions?
I
For
mean
main expansions.
within the box.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just one. Yeah, just
just
one pack,
one pack
one artwork.
artwork. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's probably, and I do think the Japanese pack art is better. I
yeah,
don't know.
I
Maybe it's
agree.
just a personal thing. I think that would display better, bro. I don't think
I
it's a bad
agree.
idea. I don't think it's a bad idea to
I
have a
mean,
pack art
it would
display.
be cheaper, and I agree it will look cooler because I do think the artwork is better. Um,
And the packs are also um, they're longer, aren't they? And
yeah,
they're thinner.
the
So
thinner.
whatever you're gonna place the cards in, it's probably gonna be much easier because with some English packs, they're quite. I don't know what it is, but sometimes I hold a pack and it seems super thick.
Yeah,
I know that's just my mind. It's probably not any different, but a lot of the packs are going to be thinner and they're going to be longer and they're just more glittery, shiny. Like a look like a V Star pack and a
yeah,
151 pack and a Crimson Haze pack, or even just a Paradigm Trigger pack, or there's just all the pack arts are just great, bro. And you won't have to, because with me is because like I said, I've got a little bit of a completionist streak in me. Like I want to have one of everything. If I was doing pack art displays, I think it would drive me crazy to try and work out like if I'm if I've got Paldea, I'm gonna want all. I think it's 5 different pack artworks for Paldea.
I don't know. Might be
I
because
think
it
it's like
depends on the
five.
set. Some are four, some are five.
Yeah. Are you gonna just display one pack from each set and then have to decide which pack you like the most? Um, or are you gonna display all five or all four and then have multiples of? I don't know. I don't even. Have you
That's a
even thought
question.
about how you're gonna do it?
That's a question. I don't know because first of all, English, Japanese. If I go for English, then do I just display the whole 4 or 5 hour set? Um, do I just display the one I like the most? It's
Bro,
it's not easy. Not
you
easy.
could have EV Heroes, you could have Blue Sky
I
Stream, you could
see.
have
Think about
You
it.
could have literally all of them. You could have like, and you'd be done. You'd have one
Yeah,
of each set. With English, like you wouldn't be able to display multiple sets. It
you
would
know, I
take up.
think I think Raging Surf artwork is really good.
Yeah,
Which would be it
yeah.
has a Groudon, it has God of War.
God of War on it as well. Yep, yep.
I think it's just really good.
And the packs are cheap, bro. The packs are
Yeah,
dirt.
they're cheaper. I mean, and the problem would be so some sellers say they are selling light packs, like Japanese pack, which is very honorable. Do I buy light packs knowing that at least they're light, so I know they're light, or
Yeah,
do I? What do I do? Because one thing I also thought about for Scarlet and Violet, buy one box of each, keep a few packs, sell the others. But they wouldn't be easy to sell though. Like if I can sell to some members that they
yeah.
want to copy my collection.
I'd buy a few packs, but bro, like I think just buy one of each pack, bro. Even if they're light packs, if it's purely for display purposes,
Yeah,
does it really matter? You're displaying the packs of the sets that you really like, the sets that you are a fan of, you know, and it would make a really good display. I think that's what you should do. But if I was to do that, I think I would do that. There's a question from
yeah.
Ingo, by the way. So this is Baz
Hey,
says, I have a question for you as well. Some people here in
Denmark.
Denmark, okay, opens a lot of packs on new set releases, then sell the singles. Would this be a smart way to complete my own master set and sell? Bro, in my experience, having done pack openings and ripping on whatnot, I can only tell you based on that. I can happily say I've opened hundreds of booster boxes, either for people buying from me and for myself. I've opened hundreds of boxes for myself. I know that for a fact. But I've also opened
Lucky.
hundreds. I just it's stupid, bro. It's silly, but I did it because it's degenerate, addiction. But also having opened on whatnot for people that bought product from me, ripping through boxes and boxes. I think to try and do a master set by ripping open packs, unless you're at Danny Phantom level or you're at where you're able to shift bulk as well. Because another thing a lot of people don't realize is when you're opening boxes, you get left with like 95% of it is bulk. Obviously, you're going to take out the pack. If you're doing a master set, you're going to take out all your commons, uncommons, rares. You're going to take out your hollows, reverse hollows, and then you're going to take out your IRs, your SIRs, etc., right? And your full arts, your trainers and stuff. But I think it takes, unless you have the infrastructure to extract every bit of value out of anything that's left over and anything that you have multiples of, I think it's better to just buy what you need for your master set. I would say if you really need to open boxes for enjoyment, keep what you want for your master set. But ultimately, if you are going to do like, if you're a proper master set completionist, you're going to want every single card, the non-hollows, the reverse hollows, both uh, in every single manner that that card is produced. You're going to want that, right, bro? And some sets it's absolutely humongous. I don't
Yeah.
know, like I know a few people that have completed 151. You're welcome, mate. um but yeah, bro, I would just buy it. Long story short, I would just buy it because
Yeah.
I know people that completed 151 and they've just had to end up eventually had to buy the cards that they needed because it just wasn't financially viable anymore.
And especially now that just the other day, the big European sellers are back with multiple singles. So right now you can buy like almost a whole master set from the same seller at the lowest prices in the EU.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that makes it even easier. So you don't have to pay multiple shippings because, as you know, shipping it over here it's pretty
Definitely.
expensive.
Look, guys, I know we are investors and we do enjoy. Like, I can't speak for Barrett. I can definitely speak for myself. I like opening packs. I'm sure everybody enjoys. If we could all open packs for free, we would do it. If the Pokemon company called me tomorrow and said, Baz, we are going to offer you two booster boxes of every single set that comes out from now into the future. Would you like that? I'd be like, yes. All you
I
have to
mean,
do, Baz. You have to rip open those packs live on YouTube. I wouldn't take it to both hands. I would rip it open happily because it's free. But we also have to be realistic about the fact that this is a super expensive hobby. We often forget, and because we are such a niche, like we think that everybody thinks like us, but it's not the truth. There's only a very small proportion of people that love Pokemon that think like us. And take the easy route because it's so expensive. Buy the damn singles. Yes, open some product,
Yeah.
see how much you can complete, but just buy the singles. If you're trying to do set completion, master sets, in my experience, it's going to be the most cost effective way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, Danny Phantom, I know Mason from Cardinal. I don't know if any of you watch Mason from Cardinal Gaming. Solid guy. I've spoken to Mason many times. In fact, we could probably bring him onto the. If anyone's interested, if anyone watches this now or watches this in the future, if you guys would like to speak to somebody who actually runs a business in cards, obviously we know Brian and stuff. I don't know if Brian would ever come on stream. He might not. He
I mean,
seems like
he came on. He came in the chat, so
he
not
seems
not
like
really far off.
I've spoken to Brian multiple times. I'm not saying we're best friends. We're not like buddies, but like we have a cordial relationship online. And I don't know. He might come on, but I know he's a very busy guy. But definitely somebody like Mason from Cardin. I'd love to have Brian on, by the way. Brian, if you're watching, hit me up. But somebody like Mason, I know will definitely be more than happy to talk about that aspect of the business, which is like the single side, because he um, does everything. They open packs, they sell boxes, they sell master sets, they do everything. So somebody like him would be a best place to explain. But they've got the infrastructure that where because look, they need to service players as well as they need to service general people coming in to buy singles. Because not everybody goes into an LGS to just buy boxes or ETBs or specialty boxes, right? A lot of people want to go and buy singles. They want to complete their sets. They want to complete master sets. So these guys have the ability to break down the product and sell everything. They can actually sell everything, and also bulk. They're able to sell to people that are building out decks or people that want to resell, etc., etc. So they're able to extract the complete total value of a box to the maximum potential, which somebody like you and I, we're just not capable of doing that. We don't have the eBay or online presence. We don't have the people walking in to buy products. I completely missed that, by the way. Dingo said, yeah, I've done 151 Masters and I love looking at the cards here and there. I'd love to do the same for Crown Zenith, perhaps Surging Sparks. Yeah, bro, Crown Zenith, again, beautiful master set. I mean, like Barrett will agree with me. Like, I love V Star. I love Crown Zenith.
Yeah,
I
V
think
Star,
it's
V
an
Star, best set
absolute
ever. I'll see you,
amazing set.
I'll keep my case till the day, no, not till the day I die, but
You can't take it to the grave with you, bro. You gotta
no,
you gotta sell
till
that
the,
at some point.
till the day Pokemon dies.
Yeah, that'll probably
Oh,
be way after.
that's
That'll be.
actually an interesting topic. Will Pokemon ever die?
I don't know. I doubt
Like,
it.
think about it. So every company has beginning, middle, and an end. So at some point, it'll die.
I don't think it'll be in our lifetime, bro. Have you seen
It might
Pokemon
be.
Pocket, bro? They have got. If
I
you
mean,
actually, you know what we should do sometime. You know,
I
you're the
saw the
math guy.
artworks.
You're the math guy. I'm the business guy, right? We should merge these powers together and become like the. We should become the. We can't even say like
The
the
jokers of
Avengers.
YouTube.
The Avengers of YouTube. No, not the Avengers. Like that's American. So what would be the European version of that? Anyway,
Jokers. Just
the
jokers.
Jokers.
Yeah.
But
The
what I'm saying
clowns
is,
of
well,
YouTube.
we should come up with all of the different potential scenarios that Pokemon could innovate its TCG to keep it continuously going, bro. Like I've looked at the innovation, right? I've done my own research. I was actually going to do a video about this, a very interesting video topic. I was thinking of taking like a specific species in the TCG and seeing how it has evolved. Because we all know Pokemon evolve, right? So it's like kind of a double meaning to that, where you've got, yeah,
Got an idea. Got an idea.
yeah. But imagine if you could have a bot or a program or anything. I know you'd have to have really good instructions and data to be able to run that. But imagine all of the different combination of things Pokemon could do into the next 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years to continuously innovate. Because look, my idea was this, and I'll tell you this now. I wasn't going to
Yeah.
say it, but I'm going to make the video soon anyway. But I'll give you a hint. So I was looking at Blastoise because I love Blastoise, right? I like Gengar, um, Blastoise, Gengar, Mewtwo. These are like some of my favorites, right? I was looking at the Blastoise artwork one day. I was on PokemonCard.net, I think it is. They've got you literally just type Blastoise and it'll come up with every single Blastoise since base set, the first edition, right? And then you can go through and you can see all the cards.
Yep.
And I was looking at the artwork, and bro, for the first like 15 years, it was just Blastoise in a different position. Like it's pretty much the same Blastoise. He's just the cannons are out. He's on the side. He's got his back to you. Is nothing crazy happening. There's the expedition one is good. He's under the water. He's like this. Yeah, his cannons in the water's like this. It's nothing crazy though. And people have continuously bought set after set after set after set after set until 151 came out. Now that Blastoise was sick. I don't care what anybody says. That
Yeah, I
artwork
love it.
was unbelievable, bro. Now imagine all the different things that they could do and just tweak things over and over. Like look at Pokemon Pocket now. Are you seeing those cards, bro?
Yeah, I saw
Can
them.
you imagine if Pokemon in 4 years, 5 years time? I think PK Knowledge John from Knowledge Cards talked about this. He said Pokemon Go came out in 2016, and the set wasn't released until 6 years later.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and people bought Pokemon Go, bro. I know it's a trash set, yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
a
I
lot
mean,
of people, even I bought Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go didn't have like cards. You see
Oh
what I'm
no,
saying?
of course, they didn't have cards. But if they could do that with Pokemon Go, which was a game on your phone where you walk
Yeah,
around
like
catching Pokemon and battling people, if they could do it with that to create the card set based on that, how much more likely is it for them to take Pokemon Pocket and go 5 years down the line? Yeah, those cards that everybody was crazy about, those
yeah,
Charizards and those Squirtles and Bulbasaurs. We're just gonna print those cards now.
yeah.
Bro, people would go ballistic. If they, bro, I guarantee you, and PK said this as well. If they were to print Pokemon Pocket, bro, if they were to announce the release of Pokemon Pocket tomorrow, guess what everybody would do? They would F
Yeah,
everything else and they would go and that
yeah,
shit would sell out in record time.
100%. Yeah. You know what they could do instead from a game perspective, like a video game? VR.
VR. Ooh,
Think about a
wow.
headset and you're there with your Pokemons. Yeah, you got your Pokemon in real life. I mean, in VR. It's augmented reality, and you're
Yeah.
just there walking with your Pokemon, chilling, and you're battling with your Pokemon. That would be. I mean, it wouldn't be
Bro, the
like
possibilities are
revolutionary, but it would be pretty cool.
what are those cards, bro? You know the I can't remember the name for
Or
it, but you
think about this, and I think Yu-Gi-Oh, because Yu-Gi-Oh is more into it. I think it's working on it. You know how with Yu-Gi-Oh you have the dual disc, and then you place your card in the
yeah,
disc,
yeah,
and they would
you've got
appear.
yeah, yeah,
So they
yeah.
were working on it in VR. So actually, you're there playing, and everything is VR. So you put your imaginary card that you see on your disc, and then it appears, and then you fight. Think about the same
Yeah.
with Pokemon.
It would go
You have
insane, bro.
fights with Pokemon
It
in
would be
VR.
insane. And I guarantee you they probably already have all of this written down.
Yeah,
They're probably
AR. Yeah,
yeah, AR.
yeah,
They probably have all of this already planned and they know that this is stuff that they could potentially do. But why are they going to do it, bro? They don't need to do it. That's why they won't do it.
yeah.
They will
I
just
mean,
continue printing cards,
it
basic
would.
standard cards. They'll make a few of them shiny and they'll make a few of them textured. And, we are going to keep buying them. We're just going to keep buying them.
But I mean, it you know these ideas, I think they would take several years of development. After all,
Yeah, of
um,
course. I think a lot
think
of
about
things
the
will
video
take.
game, not the cardboard. I mean, printing
Yeah,
cardboard. I don't think it takes that
video
much.
games. I think will always. This is. I don't think it'd be too difficult for them um, to innovate on. I think the TCG is the one that
Yeah,
the question you asked is valid more for the TCG because of the fact that it is cardboard at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
something that is physical that you have to hold, you have to build decks from.
yeah.
But I still think that even despite all that, there's just so much potential innovation that they can do into the future. I was going to say,
Yeah.
do you remember those 3D cards, like or posters when you're little? You turn the poster
Yep.
and it changes the angle of the character.
I've got a Yu-Gi-Oh one.
Yeah. So like, imagine if Pokemon did that, bro, with a Charizard. Like, and there's one where Charizard's there, and then you turn it and he's spitting fire and his wings are out.
Ghost Rare, like alt arts.
Yeah,
So guess
Ghost
the Ghost
Rare
Rare. I don't know
Autumn.
if you know about for Yu-Gi-Oh Ghost Rares, Yu-Gi-Oh Ghost Rares. When you move the card, the
Yeah,
effect is as if you know the artwork within the card moves.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine
So,
they
but
did that with.
instead of having those crappy all games of when you flip and just have a Ghost Rare cards, nuts.
It's game
People go
over, bro.
nuts.
And they're textured as well, so they can be
Yeah.
alt art, textured Ghost Rares. they
Think
haven't
about it.
even they haven't even got anywhere near that level, bro. And we're still buying them like crazy. We're stacking up
Mm.
on booster box cases of every little set that comes out. So
But you know
I
what?
think I think the TCG is safe, man, for quite a while.
Because you say they don't do. I don't know if like it's Yu-Gi-Oh has a patent on it. So Konami has a patent on it, and they rather than they want, they can't use a Ghost Rares. But I think Ghost Rares. I mean, Konami is bringing back Ghost Rare. Has tried to bring back Ghost Rares recently.
I think what Wojciech is saying is like he also says it's a thing from like 30 years ago. I agree with you, but see the thing is these are the things that people like me would have been super nostalgic for that. And remember, who are the people with money now that buy a lot of this? That's not throwing shade on anybody in their teens or their 20s, but a lot of the big players in this space are people who are in their 30s, in
Yeah.
their 40s, and
But
beyond.
you know what? You know what? You see how they're slowly bringing back black and white Pokemons. Got it with Temporal. Now at the announcement of at the Worlds, we've had Ants Reshiram, and
Yep.
Reshiram is
Hmm.
Pokemon Black and White, and we also had in Paradise Forgotten. There's a lot of Palkia Dialga. There's again Iron Crown, just regular rare. Um, so they're slowly bringing. It seems like they're now bringing back black and white Pokemon,
Hmm.
at least some to some degree.
Bro, they're super smart. You know what? And the thing
And
is,
who grew up with black and white
people your age, yeah,
and who is getting into adult money?
yeah, you guys.
Yeah,
So the thing is, and whilst there's you guys, there's also us guys
yeah,
parallel at the same time consuming all of the same things. So they're throwing a little bit for you, they're throwing a little bit for me. We're all happy. And another thing is, guys, never underestimate anybody watching this. Never underestimate nostalgia is one thing, right? But it's the novelty of something that's not been done before. So, we are talking about these cards that Yu Gi Oh did where you change the angle and it looks like it's moving, the ghost rares.
yeah. Ghost Wars.
Pokemon have never done it. So, if they were to do it, people are going to buy it
Yeah,
just
I mean,
because of novelty. Forget everything else. Just because they've never done it, bro. If they had made, let me ask you a very serious question. You answer this honestly, Barrett.
Mm.
If Pokemon Company had come out and said, "Listen, you see this gray hat, felt hat Pikachu from Van Gogh. We're gonna make it available to everybody at $5 a pop. You can buy as many as you want, or we're gonna make 100,000 of them, and first come, first serve." Are you telling me that they would not have sold out instantly overnight?
Yep.
Why? Because it's never been done before. It's not even a damn playable card. It's not even a card. It's got no value in the TCG other than for you to have the card. And it's
Yeah.
got Pikachu that looks like a Van Gogh painting. Other than that, there's nothing else about that card. You can't use it in the game. There's nothing you can do with it. But it's purely out of novelty. So to say that these are really old things, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. However, sometimes things would just sell out of novelty, out of the fact that it's never been done before.
Yeah.
Bro, I had an insane idea for a Pikachu card last night.
Yeah.
Now that
Tell
we're
us about
talking
it.
about this, tell us, Dingo. We want to hear, man. We want to hear.
So, I mean, imagine if, speaking of Pikachu, imagine if they don't make an SIR Pikachu in Surgeon Sparks.
I think
It'll be
there's
a
gonna be
letdown,
one. There
wouldn't it?
has to be one, man. There can't not be one. It would be the ultimate troll by Pokemon
I mean,
if
they could
they
just make an ultra rare, kind of
they
what they
could
did with
they could.
Lapras
You
and
mean like a
Solar
full
Crown.
art?
Yeah, just a full art ultra rare. What would they?
Mm.
I mean, they did that with Lapras and Solar Crown. Lapras is on the box, but it's just an ultra rare.
But there is a nice, yeah, there is a nice Lapras Ultra Rare, isn't there?
Yeah, but let's be
Yeah, but
real.
I feel like Pikachu is the pull to that set, and if they don't do an SIR Pikachu, I mean, they could just troll everybody. I mean, there's people going crazy and pre-ordering like
Yeah.
a bunch of this product. I'm not going to do that, guys. Do not ask. This is not investment advice, but I am the kind of person where I would like to wait to definitely know. Otherwise, you're just taking a stab in the dark. You're
Oh
blindfolded
yeah.
and you're just taking a stab in the dark, hoping that it's going to do well, just without knowing the information. You can't invest. Let me just say this very clear, guys. You cannot call yourself an investor if you're putting money into a product without knowing completely what you're putting
Mhm.
your money into. It's like going. You're basically a gambler at that point. Okay, you're banking on the fact that something may or may not happen, and it's quite likely that it might not happen. And if it doesn't happen the way you imagine it, you just gambled. Yeah, it might pay off. It's a 50-50, but then you might as well go to a casino. At least you get your result immediately. Put your money on red or black. I'm not. I don't. I'm not. Um, I don't promote gambling. I don't believe in it. I think it's completely wrong. And but what I'm saying is that if you're going to go and spend hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars or euros on booster cases, box cases of a set you don't know everything about, you might as well just go to a casino
Yeah.
because at least you'll know on the night whether you're going to make money or not. You're just hoping. Dingo says, imagine a card where Pika is running mad in dark rain, and when you flip the card a bit, Pikachu's in the air doing an under attack with lightning from the skies. That sounds brilliant, man. The Dingo, that's absolutely brilliant. I would make a. You should try and illustrate it. Enter one of the illustration competitions, man. I'm sure. I'm sure Pokemon. If you're good at illustrating, I'm sure Pokemon have contests all the time. But that's a
Yeah.
that's a pretty sick idea. That's a pretty
I
sick idea.
remember they had some issues with that because some entries for Pokemon contests were actually made by AI.
Yes,
So
yes,
there's
yes, yes.
been
Yes.
some. I remember that some talks about it.
Wojciech says, yeah, but honestly, if you make your research, it is also a gamble, but with less probability to. Of course, Wojciech. So what we're saying is, I'm not saying.
If
Go
you
on,
don't mind, just it's
go on,
just
go on, go on.
the moment you buy something with the hope you are able to sell it for more than what you bought it in the future, you're and you there's uncertainty on what that price is going to be in the future. That brings probability. So it's you can call it gambling, you can call it speculation, call it whatever you want. You're right. You're correct. You can call it gamble. Just as you say, you just add in. I mean, by buying what you don't know, you're just adding a level of risk, which we think it's unnecessary. Some people may not, but yeah, I agree. I mean, your statement is correct. Just, I mean, less probability to occur would need to be verified. Blah 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 blah. But I don't want to go into it. But yeah, if you don't
This
try,
is
you don't get champagne. No, no risk, no Rari. Where Rari stands
no
for
risk, no
Ferrari.
Rari. No,
Yeah.
that's true. But guys, look, my style is this, right? I like to make an informed decision. Look, if I it's still a gamble. 100% agree with you because
Yeah, it's
again, we don't know
speculation.
what's we don't we can try and predict the future, but we can't accurately guarantee anything. But I like to be in a position where when I make a decision, I have considered objectively all factors. Then, if it fails, I can say, I looked at the data. I looked at, well, when I say data, I mean the qualitative data rather than the quantitative data. Okay. You can always do
I
600 plus.
just makes me
And
laugh.
you're right. You're 100% right. But for me, I want to be in a position where I have been able to objectively look at as much variables as possible. And if it still doesn't work out, I can say, okay, that wasn't meant to be. But if I then put money into something without having considered or given myself the opportunity to consider all factors, like qualitative stuff, like what kind of artworks are there, how many IRs are in the set, how many SIRs in the set, what are those
Yeah.
SIRs, what species are
What
they,
really looks like.
what does it really look like? That gives me a better understanding of what has legs to go and actually perform well. And if it then doesn't perform well, that's fine. I can't hold myself accountable at that point. Well, I can still hold myself accountable, but I can. It's an easier pill to swallow because I've done the best I could do with the information I had. But if I don't even have the information and I'm hoping it's going to do well,
Yeah.
then it's gamble. It's just a full.
Sorry.
It's a pure gamble.
This sentence just it reminds me of Pogios, because
My best friend
he always says it's not a loss until you
until you
sell,
sell.
which is
Yeah,
kind of like saying, you know, a woman is pregnant. It's not a human until it comes out.
yeah,
Is it a human? I don't know. I can
yeah.
see it. just
Oh
it just
god!
makes me laugh.
Don't get me
But yeah,
started on Pokios. He's a lovely
we
guy.
won't.
He's a really
Yeah,
good guy.
yeah. Oh God.
But yeah.
Uh,
We've spoken about a lot today. Let's not get into that. Yeah, of course not. Of course not. We're not going to get into that. I love everyone, man. I am critical of some people, but I'm not critical of the person. I'm always critical of the methodology or their approach or something that they have promoted. This not the individual. I never have. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have seen some of my videos. Um, and it's never the person, it's never ever the individual, it's always the what they've said or what they've done, or essentially the methodology. With Pokeos, I think he's really good entertainment value. I think, and I know that a lot of it's just fun and games. It's like let's guess,
yeah,
how much things can be worth.
which I don't
But
mind at times, to be honest.
yeah,
There,
which
there
we don't mind at
there's
times.
worse. There's I just put it that way. I
No,
think there's
there's definitely worse out there. There's definitely worse out there. But anybody watching this, if there's any other creators that watch this, I want you all to know that, and I'm sure hardly anyone's going to watch it that I know in the community.
thank you,
But
thank you.
if I ever mention something from somebody, it's not a personal thing. I might even do a hit piece on Barrett one day and say this guy. Oh god, be like, no, Alicia, no. Oh, I just did I just dox you, bro? I just
That's all right. That's all right. If
but
you
yeah, it'd be like Barrett, no. Okay, so
eventually
even
we
if you
profited.
buy every set, eventually you'll be profitable. But when picking, you can actually make less.
Oh, that's actually incorrect because you don't know if you will be profitable. You're saying that based on previous history. So if you were to watch my last video, then yes, you basically use a sample mean of returns because looking at price would be stupid. So you look at returns, and you see, okay, let's say you look at 20 years, right? So if you look at 20 years and you look at the past performance over 20 years, so go back 20 years, take today, one data point, then what you do is you're estimating returns over the next 20 years. That's what you're doing. So you say, okay, so this past 20 years been X%, and you're basically estimating it's going to do the same. Even if you don't implicitly, when you do that, that's what you're doing. You can estimate for the same time period, so 20 years. If you take one data point, what you do have is an unbiased estimator, which means on average, your guess is correct. However, you have one observation, so your average is the observation. That's fine. On paper, perfect. Very nice estimator. What you lack is consistency. So what that means is your prediction, the error you're going to make on your prediction, uh, basically you have consistency if the error you're going to make on your prediction is small. So the probability of the error being small goes to zero, meaning that you're making little to no error in your prediction as the sample size increases. If you have one data point, that doesn't happen. So you don't have a consistent estimator, meaning that yes, you've taken the past to look at the future, but that is not a good representation of the future. So will you be profitable? We don't know. Um,
Barrett, you've frozen. I can hear you, but
are you guys there? As
you're
Bison,
frozen.
yeah.
You're frozen.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but I can't see you.
Really?
As in, I can see you, but you're completely
Frozen?
frozen. Yeah, your picture's kind of like. Just keep going, keep going. We can hear you, so and your face is looking fine. So
Okay. But yeah, oh yeah, sorry. It was the middle of it. Yeah, I don't know where I froze off, but yeah, just watch my latest video. So, will you be profitable? Not necessarily. Could you be profitable? Maybe. Could you not be profitable? Also possible.
also possible. Yeah.
So yeah, it's not. That's what I hate because that's what most poker tubers try to pass on. If you buy every set, will be profitable. You don't know. It's possible, but you don't know. Based on the history, and if you take that history as, um, yeah, I don't want to go into the math of it because
Yeah, bro. The math,
I could
bro.
talk for hours. I could go
It's a
talk.
lot. It's a lot of math, bro. But what I would say though is, for anyone new, and I've said this to loads of people in the past, is that we don't know what set's going to do what, right? If you just want to simplify things, you can buy every set. Just don't assume that you will eventually be profitable across them, across all of those sets. Yeah. Or as a whole, because it's, as Barrett said, because you may or may not be. It might not always happen. Okay.
I
Because we're
mean,
just
think about
basing
it.
our assumptions on data on and from past sets, but it's not indicative of anything in the future. If you want to buy every single set, it's likely that you might be profitable across your back, by the way. So it's not
Yeah.
a bad strategy to just say, okay, I don't know um, what qualitative or quantitative data I must be looking at in order to make an objective investment decision based on some kind of statistical modeling or mathematical modeling here. So what I'm going to do is every set that comes out, I'm just going to buy a box at $90 or €90 for every single set that comes out. However, just understand that you may or may not be profitable because that is a high probability that it could be either of the two. Um, so yeah,
And
again, if Barrett gets into the math of
what?
it, it's gonna go. It goes over my head. So,
Yeah, I want. But here's the thing, and this is rational thinking. That's what they usually teach you in the first classes of any microeconomic course. So let's say you are an investor. Your investor is to maximize profit. you could maximize utility, but that would be more complex to explain. You want to maximize profit, right? So you have a basket of possible investments, and you say Pokemon will be profitable, meaning that with 100%, so probability one, it's going to be profitable. There's no risk. That means there's no risk. Okay. And your other alternatives, stock market, carry risk. Now, if additionally you look at the past performance of Pokemon and you see that, as many people preach, they outperform the S&P, which to some degree is correct, and you think this will be profitable, and they outperform investments with risk. And if you say Pokemon will be profitable, you are implying that there is no risk
There is
because
no
you're
risk.
saying
Yep.
it will. You're not saying
Yep.
it could be profitable.
Yep.
So from a rational standpoint, you should put all your money to Pokemon because it's the investment with zero risk that carries the most return. That's basically what you're saying. So again, well, I mean, I have nothing against you. Oh, but yeah, that's basically the logic behind it.
There's another question as well.
Oh, yeah, last one,
From
I
Dingo.
think, this was a long day.
Yeah, yeah, me too, bro. I need to run because
Unfortunately,
I am
I'd
super
be,
tired.
yeah.
So another question is, if the Pokemon Center is sold out on the website on release day, would the product still be available in the store? I was thinking about going there to get some Surging Sparks ETBs. Yes. Are you talking about like an LGS, or are you talking about a physical Pokemon Center shop? Because there isn't one. But if you're asking about an LGS, the LGSs should be stocked up. I would say that go and call an LGS prior to going in to see if they have stock, or inquire on there. A lot of them have their own websites. But the Pokemon Center, just remember, the Pokemon Center is completely removed from LGSs. I have distribution, so I could, I'm not an LGS, but I could operate like an LGS technically if I wanted to, theoretically. Um, but I will still get my stock. The Pokemon Center has its own level of stock, and unfortunately, a lot of people will go first to the Pokemon Center, and they don't buy from LGSs or from on Amazon or eBay or Card Market or TCG Player. A lot of people don't even know these things exist. A lot of people don't know you can buy a booster box for $100 on eBay rather than buying it from the Pokemon Center for 150, or whatever the price is, 140, 150, 160. So yeah, that stock is completely disconnected from your LGS or your local stores and all of that stuff. They should still have stock. Just because Pokemon Center doesn't have it doesn't mean nobody else will have it. I think that's the question, right? Or did I get it wrong, Alicia? Or Barrett? I
I
keep.
think so.
Yeah, I think, yeah. If the Pokemon Center sold on website, yeah, it's because I really want the PC promo. Yeah, the PC promo you're only going to get from the Pokemon Center.
I mean, just
You're not gonna get that. Do not buy if you're buying the ETB for the PC promo, you're not gonna get that from an ETB in a normal shop. It's a completely different product. You're gonna have to wait for either a restock, or you're gonna have to buy that ETB on the secondary market, on the gray market, from eBay, Card Market, or any other of the retailers that have the PC, the Pokemon Center ETB.
this I like better. This I like better.
I'm just saying it's low risk based on
But yeah,
times
I mean,
1000. Yes, okay.
again, nothing against you. You might have even just misworded. You mean it will be. It's all right.
And which
I
actually,
was just trying to make you and whoever is watching or will be watching think.
yeah, it's
Because by saying
the
that,
whole
it's not rational.
the
Then your
whole point
rational
of
decision, if you say that, is putting everything, and depending on your aversion to risk, not only putting everything, but going to debt to buy more Pokemon
yeah.
because you want to maximize your profit. So if it carry, I mean, if it carries no risk, why wouldn't you borrow as much as you could? It's no risk.
Okay, so Ma Bahalzic says, would you
Yeah.
consider Paldea Revolved to be overrated? No, not
No.
in my opinion. I think Paldea is a solid set, and most people that know, well, I think most people will agree that it's a good set. It's a definitely a brilliant set. It's not the number one set in Scarlet and Violet, but it's definitely a very good, solid, investable set
Yeah.
if you bought it at the right price. Yeah, I don't think it's overrated. I
Yeah.
don't
We're
even
talking.
understand. You're back
Yeah.
now, by the way. You were frozen. You're back now.
Oh God. Yeah. It's a sign. It's a sign. It's a sign. We
No,
gotta
no,
stop.
you're back. You're actually back. You're actually back. You're good.
Yeah, but I was
Yeah.
frozen.
By the way, also just to come back to your white check, the whole point of the way what we do is, okay, I will sometimes I do tell people do this or do that, right? I try not to do it. I try not to tell people to buy this or buy that, or do this or do that. But the whole point of us getting together is that we want you to be able to think for yourselves, to actually apply some critical thinking to everything that you're doing. And also, just on top of that, we appreciate your input as well. Like
Yeah.
on these streams, it's very important for people to come on and to be able to ask us these questions and run things by, because sometimes we might not have all the answers either. And somebody might comment and actually give us a really, really good, solid explanation for something that maybe we haven't even considered. So you said again, but it's close to the Lost Origin booster box price. Does that make sense? What makes sense in what world? Um,
Yeah. I mean, it's 50. It's 50. It's 50. Let's say currency unit. But it's actually a
on a percentage basis, it's still quite far off. It's not
20,
the same.
30, 30, 35.
It's about 35% away. It's not in mathematical terms. I don't think you'd consider that close.
Yeah.
It's quite far off.
Yeah.
If it was within a few percentage points, even if it was within 5%, 10%, I'd say not. It's not far off. But if you're
Yeah.
talking 30 odd percent, it's a big difference. We can't always think of things in monetary like unit values.
Yeah.
150 in most people's minds doesn't sound far off of 200, but actually, if you take this and you scale this to a larger degree where you're actually investing, it makes a
Yeah.
huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, Paldea in the EU is like 110.
Yeah,
So it's not even that expensive. Two
it's about
Lost
the
Origin
same.
is 200,
Yeah, it's
but
about the
PE
same
is
in the
110.
UK. It's about the
Yeah,
same in the UK. You can pick up Haldir for about 105, 110.
yeah, 110
Um,
euros.
yeah, 150, yeah, between 115 and 115, you can pick up Haldir all day long.
Yeah,
But Lost Origin is way more. It's around 200, definitely
yeah,
for a
same.
fact.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right.
man. I think.
Unless there's any other last questions, I think we could wrap it up.
Yeah.
That was a good conversation. I enjoyed that today, Barrett. That was pretty cool, man.
Short but meaningful.
Short but meaningful, definitely, but
Short,
not that short.
short because I wish time wouldn't never pass with you.
I know, man.
I
I
wish we
do
could stay
enjoy
here forever.
I do enjoy your company, but we
Just
have
don't
things to
tell your
do.
wife, please.
I'm fine. She'll be okay. She's busy with the kids, so
Uh,
um, no, it's good. But let's try do this again. Maybe a little bit. We'll try a little earlier, half an hour earlier, so we can give ourselves that extra. But I
nah,
just, bro,
yeah,
my weekdays and my weekends are just packed with stuff. But yeah, it's been a
yeah.
good convo, man. We'll catch up. I'll drop you a message, and then we'll talk about
Okay.
what we were speaking
And
about.
guys, we might bring someone else on the channel, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I
No
mean, we
spoilers.
feel free to, if you're still watching at this point after the fact, if you're watching the replay of this, if there's anybody you'd like on the stream,
Oh yeah,
comment down below, and we will. If there's enough comments for anybody in specific, we can always get in touch with them and try and bring them on. But we do have a few people we
yeah.
plan to bring on as well.
We
Yeah,
should have probably said that earlier, but that's
we
fine.
should have. Well, if you made it this far into the video, congratulations. You are one of
It
the real
means
ones.
yeah, yeah. It means you
All right,
really
bro.
like us.
Appreciate you, Barrett.
All
We'll
right,
catch
man.
up soon. All right, bro.
Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you soon.
See you
Take
guys.
care, everyone.
Take care.